Oh, my man,
Spode.
is he on? Is he on tonight? Is he coming tonight? Is he gonna join us
Yeah,
tonight?
he's coming. He's coming
He
on
coming
tonight.
in? Okay.
Yeah. He's coming on tonight.
Get my doggone taxes done. I ain't getting shit back, but you know how it is. Damn Trump,
Yeah.
Trump might. You don't turn them damn taxes, then Trump, he come looking for you, even though he don't pay his.
You see his penalty.
Yeah, he might lay off my doggone my Medicare.
Hey, he say, did you pay your taxes? No. Well, I'm gonna have to fine you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
What?
stop your retirement and stop your damn Medicare.
Right. What about
I'll be
your
on.
taxes, Trump?
I'll be on damn.
Don't.
Hey, what's up, Spoke? I'll be on damn. I'll
Yo,
be on welfare. I'll be going to gotta give me some stamps. Oh, wait, they don't use stamps anymore. They use credit cards now.
Yeah, they do. They do. Look, I got a question for y'all, and this it might sound sports related, but it's not. It has a lot to do with a parent and child.
Oh,
Did y'all see where LeBron James, quote unquote, confronted Stephen A. about his son Bronny?
no, man. Was it like face to face or was it
Yeah,
on?
it was face to face at the Laker game last night.
Wow.
It only lasted for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And basically what he said in a nutshell is, to lay off his child. To lay off his child. He's going too hard on his son. Right? And
I mean, if he a bum, he a bum. He ain't got no business in the NBA.
but here's the thing.
I mean,
you call him a bum, but they threw him into the fire. Now
right.
I'm not a LeBron James fan.
Yeah.
You ain't never seen that.
I respect him.
MJ.
No. I don't believe in that GOAT thing. You like that favorite? He could be MJ could be your favorite player. LeBron could be your favorite player. I get that, but everybody in LA, and they did it the favorite for LeBron, but they picked him the 55th player.
Right. Purposefully.
But see, my point is, that's barely a free agent, bro. See, if you was really on that type of time, you understood that they didn't take no risk. They didn't take nobody's job because they didn't draft him in the first 2 rounds. That would have took somebody's job.
JJ Redick did that to stay in LeBron's graces. That's why he did it.
Listen, DJ, here's my question. One of my buddies texted me today and sent me the link. And he wanted to know what my thoughts were. And I pretty much told him, I said, well, why you send me this? Because LeBron is a big baby. LeBron is soft. He this, he that, right? I said, first and foremost, Stephen A. been on that reckless shit with people all the damn time.
True
now,
that.
And he disguised his criticism. He when you remember last week when he said LeBron, when they talked about face of the league, how he went on there and said, yeah, you got your son in the league. Yeah. So he crossed the line when he said that.
Yeah, okay. I got you.
Here's the thing.
A
couple of days ago, he said LeBron was the GOAT. I mean, come on, man. It's all about views and all that.
I know that. But my buddy said that LeBron was wrong for saying something to Stephen A. And Stephen A. even said it. He said LeBron approached me not as a basketball player, but as a father. And I respected it.
But you know what, though? Here's the thing. You get off into the nuances now.
No, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing.
Bro, it's spicy, baby.
Hear me out. My point is this. Stephen A. questioning him what he's doing with his son. Stephen A. has never experienced what it what it feels like or what it takes to get your son into the NBA. Matter of fact, this is the first of the happening. So you have to out of fairness, you give the young brother a chance to build his momentum. You know what I'm saying? All this criticism, all that stuff coming at him is unfair, man. It's unfair.
If you don't
Damon, you've been around sports. Your family, all your brothers all play ball. You got to tell the truth. The boy ain't NBA material.
But wait,
He should be in the G League.
Why is it?
DJ,
hold. Hey, let Jaquari say something.
Why is it such? Why is nepotism on this end such a bad thing? How many GMs got their sons in key positions in the NBA?
All of them probably.
How many owners?
I get that. I'm with you.
How many owners?
Exactly.
Jimmy Buss,
So
her brother. You know
look,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a case of nepotism one time.
Yeah.
One time.
Should he stay or should he be gone?
Hey, listen, he's averaging since in the last 10 to 12 games, he's averaging 22 points a game in the G League. So you tell me whether or not he's working toward being a professional basketball player.
He should be in the rotation, but you don't put him on. What's my man from Philly?
Maxey.
Maxey.
Maxey, man.
No, sir.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
No, that was a straight up basketball murder. Yeah. That's all it was.
You get him to figure himself out because he know what the expectation is, but you cannot. He's not his father, man.
And you know the thing about it is leave him in the G League. The majority.
That's what I'm saying. But let him do finish.
Whatever dude did to him, he needed that, man.
Yeah.
He did.
He needed to look bad on a grand scale, not just a national scale, a grand scale, man.
And you know what's so crazy is.
Hold on, Keith. Why did that need to happen?
It needed to happen, man. So he understand that this was a gift from Dad, but I got to stand on something here.
Well, he did that in the G League after 22.
Yeah, but I have no doubt that he'll make it to the NBA, and he'll work his way up to be a great player. He's already left me in my athletic prowess, so shit, I'm proud of the young man.
Yeah,
I concur.
I just think to avoid all that drama, after you saw he didn't have it, I agree with you. Maybe we should just finish the G League and then he came back next year, whatever. Or play him against the teams like the Utah Jazz and the damn Brooklyn Nets, them trash teams. Well, not trash, but
Maxey is the guy for Philly, man. Mm-hmm. You don't put that brother on him, man.
No, at all.
Okay,
that's a confidence from day one.
Okay, now let's not step on each other's toes because I want to get your opinion about this for real. Because the reason why I brought it up was it's not really a basketball story.
No.
You know what I mean? To me, my opinion. Now you might disagree, and I'm not saying that you wrong for not agreeing with me. My point is, I want you to look at it from the way I see it. If you're LeBron James, and with Stephen A., LeBron has never said nothing to Stephen A. when he was talking reckless shit about him personally. But when he started including his son, and we'll start with you, Jaquari, when he started including his son in this, when he stepped to him, now he wasn't going to beat him up. He wasn't going to do nothing crazy. But when he stepped to him last night and said, yo, you're getting reckless. Keep my son out your mouth. Unnecessary criticism out your mouth. Right? Stephen A. said that. That's what he told him. Right? What's your opinion about that? Was he a father or was he trying to protect his son's basketball or protect his son as a father? Start with you, Jaquari, then Damon, and then you, DJ.
Okay.
I think he was absolutely a father, and he did the right. He did what I would have did, and right or wrong. I don't care what the circumstances. If you speak on my child, and then it's open season basically. A lot of people will probably say that he didn't do enough.
Gotcha. Damon.
My thing is this, man. I think that LeBron is a savvy guy. You know what I'm saying? He understands the ins and out workings of the NBA, criticism and all that. You know what I'm saying? When Stephen A. said what he said, it wasn't about his son's ability and whether or not he was an NBA player. It was about being critical of the young man when he knows that this is the beginning of his career, man. It ain't like his son been in the NBA 3 years.
Yeah. And
the critique that Stephen A. gave his son it warrants a kid that's been in the league 2-3 years.
Yeah.
I'm saying be fair. And being fair, you understand that whoever comes into the NBA, LeBron or Kobe or whoever came out of high school, bar that, my son is trying to find a way, get a footing or whatever, and you are judging him based on your critique about me. And that is crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? And that has nothing in the full analysis, man. It has nothing to do with the young cat. It has everything to do with people's opinion about, hey man, you cut the line. Hey man, it was nepotism. It's not this. And that shit happens all over the place. But I don't see the critique and all that stuff anywhere else. Not as deep as that.
Yeah.
But that lets me know that as an analyst, Stephen A. can't get past his personal shit. And what I mean by that is, okay, you're the second best player in the league, but why did your son get to cut the line? Why not? If the opportunity, presents itself, then why be mad at him? You're supposed to celebrate that, man, because he's put himself in a position where he can do that. Who else has been in the position where they put their son in at the 55th pick?
I get it.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is what it is. And if you can manipulate the coach and everybody, not question the coach because you put him on Maxi.
Yeah. Damon, I know you're hungry. I know you're hungry to be on because you ain't been on here in a minute.
I'm question a man who's doing something. I mean, I admire him because he put himself in a position to be able to do that. Playing with his son. Come on, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Where the hell did that happen, bro?
Hey, Fluke. I know you ain't been in here for the last couple times. We're going to give you the opportunity to talk, man. But let me just get this because I want DJ to say something. Then we're going to go into our introduction and we're going to start the pod. All right?
So I'm going to keep it short. Stephen A. is a talk piece for ESPN. That's why he's getting $40 million. And he pisses off a lot of people. We get that. And I'm all for that. But however, we all know that most of the guys whose sons have gone to the NBA, and there's about 15 or 20 of them, they were NBA material. They played pretty good. Matter of fact, Scottie Pippen's son is ready, but he's still in college. But he's ready. Matter of fact, he's out this year.
Yeah, he's playing.
Bronny is just not ready, and he shouldn't have put that kid in that situation because
But hold on. Now, I want you to answer the question. Not that I told you it's not basketball related, DJ. I'm talking about as far as a father, and when he confronted Stephen A. as a father, what do you think about that?
I think as a father, he should let it go. Let Bronny walk his own walk. He's a grown man. He's 21 now. Let him walk his walk. And if he stumble and fall like most of us did, we pick ourselves up, we go. Okay. He got to learn to take them pampers off him, let him roll.
That's right.
I respect it. But
that's
see,
right.
Here's my thing. My opinion about it is this. I would have done what James did, but I respect what you said, DJ. As a matter of fact, I respect what y'all all said. But my heart is this dude, because this dude always talks reckless, period. He does, you said, somebody said he is the mouthpiece of ESPN. So that's his job. He just signed a contract for $1 billion, $20 million a year for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? It's something like that. $100 million. I'm sorry. So
You said $1 billion. I'm like,
I was like, well, damn, wait a minute, man. I'm trying to get. I'm getting.
I need to start praising.
Where can I sign up?
Where the rest at?
Damn. What's the tax base? What's the tax base on that?
Yeah. It's $100 million.
I need to start praising this brother. Hey, Stephen A, go ahead, baby. Hey, what you say, bro?
Yeah. But I just, it's not a like or dislike of Stephen A. I don't like people who becomes, Charles Barkley is one of them. Shaquille O'Neal is a part-timer when it comes to it, where you throw your personal feelings into situations and you call yourself analyst, a sports analyst, where you got to be impartial. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not questioning his job. I'm saying don't get on there and be on this rant. Oh, you so such and so, and then when they approach you, now all of a sudden you don't say nothing when you're standing, because he said, Stephen A said, yo, that was not the place to do that. Talking about in that crowd, right?
Right.
So he should have called me. He should have called me, and I would have met him somewhere, bro.
Nope.
He's standing right there on business. As soon as I see you, and it wasn't like he had his fist balled up and all this. No, he gave his opinion, and it's sad where these guys, the ones that they let talk, be on some nonsensical BS. My opinion. Right? But then the ones who should say something don't, because they want to be professional. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man. But look, let's go ahead and start the program. I'm gonna see you on the other side, and we're gonna have a great show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with
Uncle Spoke,
your boy Damon Armstrong,
DJ.
We welcome you to this week's episode. I think we're gaining momentum as far as letting people know what it looks like to have a healthy conversation, no matter whether or not you're on opposite ends of the or you agree, but in different degrees of agreeing. So, hey gentlemen, let's have a good night. Taquari, how you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I accomplished a couple of things, man. I didn't used to do that, so it feels good now.
Damon, how you doing today, brother?
I feel good, man. Me and my son, we supported my wife, his mother, man. We had a great day today, man. And loved it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about this segment right here, though.
DJ, how about you, brother? How are you?
I'm good. I want to say Happy New Year's. It started out with a bang. I'm so happy and honored to be on this podcast again with these gentlemen. I've gotten to know, as time goes on, even better. Of course, I've known Keith for a quarter of a century, but I'm blessed, man. I'm enjoying myself, enjoying my senior life.
Welcome back, brother. Good to have you.
Yes.
Good to
Yeah,
have
always a pleasure.
Thank y'all.
Yes, right there.
Before we move on to our agenda, Michael Satterfield says, I don't agree with LeBron. It's just the way he went about it. What was said and the place was not right. Step to the man in private.
Wow.
I see what you're getting at, Michael.
you.
I see that. But this man is attacking him publicly. So I think that was and I'm just speculating on it, but I think that was LeBron. That was his version of doing something publicly.
I mean, and whenever Stephen A. was criticizing LeBron the man, you know, I probably would have handled it in private or whatever. But I mean, you know, your children are hot button situations, man.
True. That's true.
So I mean, but you know, now that I rethink it, man, you know, my reaction would have been emotional, man. So I
Yeah.
I would have raised my voice like, you know, here go this motherfucker.
Wow.
Mr. Motherfucker, I got word.
Yeah, I got him now in the open. I got it now.
Yeah. And it probably would have turned into something ugly. So
That's a good point. It's emotional. Damon, DJ, what y'all think?
Me personally, I think he did Stephen A. Like I said earlier, that's his job. Could he have gone about a different way? Maybe so. But Bronny James is 21 years old. Walk your walk, man. If I'm on your team and you can't shoot, we all grown. I'm gonna tell you, man, you can't shoot. Your game is trash right now, NBA wise. Go to the G League, stay a while, come back, and then supplement it, and we'll go head on. But your game, when you go to and play in Pittsburgh, your first game, and you might have missed a few of them, and everybody come up here and put no pamper on you. They're like, yo, Keith Armstrong, you all-American high school ball player, you missed a damn free throw like Shaq. The hell wrong with you? You know what I'm saying?
But
And you walked your walk, you went on, became better. You know what I'm saying?
But the point.
Not saying you did that.
But Damon, go after this. We were built different.
Okay.
We had to fight for every meal. I'm talking about on that basketball court. Period.
Okay.
Damon, what you think?
How I took it.
Satterfield said. No, what Satterfield said. What do you think about that?
What I feel about that is that what you said earlier when you started the conversation, he did it publicly. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And when he said it, he meant it to be controversial. You know what I'm saying? He might not even agree with what he said, man. But it get clicks, it get attention, it get all those different things.
That's right.
As far as LeBron is concerned, I would be remiss if I didn't say, man, do I respect how you did it? You know what I'm saying? Because he was put in that position where he had to do it that way. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your children, man, the things that you cherish most, if somebody's calling them out on a national stage or worldly stage, I'm not going to call him to the side and say, hey, man, in hopes that you might correct yourself or whatever. I don't appreciate what you said. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you would be a little bit more sympathetic towards us or whatever. And can you say a few words, man, to combat that bullshit that you put out? I'm not finna go for that. I'm gonna confront you in the media stage like you did my son.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Because I want all eyes on me like you had all eyes on you. Because you wanted to have the conversation. Okay, now deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And without it threatening him or nothing like that, but I'd have stood over him. Hey, man, let's talk about what you said about my child. You understand what I'm saying? The one thing about it is that I know about Stephen that he got girls, right? Do y'all see them in the media?
No.
Are they being questioned about anything? But he feels he has carte blanche to do that about Well, here you know he's a star and he's the media and it's fair game. Come on, dog. Real talk. Don't nobody get down like that, man. Not when you talking about their child.
Yeah.
And I,
You know?
no,
Pulling him to the side. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
no, I'm saying I also see it. Well, I imagine it to be an insulation tactic because Bronny's 21 years old.
Yeah.
Got an ass pocket full of money, and I know he probably got a slick mouth. So he wanted to say something to Stephen A. Smith, you know, but LeBron, you know, he had to shoot the roadblock up because he knows what it means to be a child in the goddamn NBA.
That's real.
So he said, "No, I'll take the bullets for this, and you just get better."
I think what LA did, they handled it wrong because you draft the kid, right? The draft pick didn't mean shit because that's free agent status. That's considered he was drafted so low. That's free agent status. You know what I'm saying? So that don't matter. Nobody got jerked out of a position, right?
What you mean?
But-
What you mean by that? You mean nobody got? What you mean by that? No other player?
The 55th pick, brother, that's free agent stuff. That's what that is. That is so low that it don't make a difference. See, that's the reality of it, bro. But see, everybody getting caught up on the glamour, the glitz and the glamour, and the historical thing. LA handled it wrong. See, if you wanted him to be the first time them to sub together, right? Do that one time and leave him in the G League, period.
I agree with that.
Until the end of the year.
Really ready.
But this brother averaging 22 points a game in the G League.
Because they left him there. They left him there. He had a chance to get on that court, man. Had a chance to get on the court.
But here's the point I'm making. We all know this is an unusual situation. So all the eyes and everything is on this situation. You know what I'm saying? Be fair with it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Be fair because how many 55th players have Stephen A. talked about whether or not they deserve to be in the league?
Good point. Good point.
You know what I'm saying? How many names did he put out there and made a segment about? Man, he's a 55th player and he got nepotism and all this stuff involved and all this, and he don't belong in the league. I would venture to guess that he has never said that about a 55th player before.
Probably not.
That's what made it.
Yeah.
Because when you boil it all down, it was an attack, man.
Okay.
Why? Because Stephen A. sees Jordan better than LeBron. And there is an argument. Why is he getting all these kudos and all this leeway and all these exceptions, and he didn't earn it? And all this old garbage ass conversations that people come up with. But at the end of the day, when it boiled down to, it was a personal attack, and it was intentional. And Stephen A., I don't know if he wanted that smoke or not. Maybe he had reservations after the father checked him, but he should have. He should have had reservations because, like I said before, ain't no 55th pick ever been under that type of scrutiny. What was your motivation behind that? To spark what?
That's a good point. That's a good point. And what I meant by they handled it wrong, I meant this. They were all of them, the LeBron and the Lakers, were so much in a hurry for history, right? In which you could have did it right before the All-Star break. But leave him in the G League, let him get his foot wet, the feet wet. So, because that's how you would handle anybody. What's the kid name that got traded to Dallas? Is it Christie? He got traded with Anthony Davis. Christie. Well, Christie was one of those one of those lower picks, right?
Yeah, but he can ball though.
Yeah, he can ball, but
He
guess
can ball,
what? But guess what? His first 2 years, he was going back and forth and he spent most of his time on the G League level. You see, that's why I said they kind of handled it wrong because they was in a hurry to do it.
But
and the last point, and the one thing that people keep forgetting is this kid played a half a season in college after suffering a heart attack.
Yeah, not even a whole half. Not even a whole half.
Look, his basketball legs and knowledge at a faster level was like a baby. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say they rushed it. If you're gonna take the chance to draft this dude, do it right.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that you have to ask yourself, man. Real time. If this guy is in the G League and he's averaging 22, right, getting his shit off, and then they say, "Oh, hey, you know what? We're thinking about bringing him up. You know, we're gonna set aside that it might be nepotism involved in the situation. He's averaging 22. So we're gonna bring him up. Wouldn't it be incumbent upon them, man, to bring him up under the guise of his father playing on the same damn team, man? It doesn't even matter if he gets playing time. It's learning how to be a savvy NBA player from one of the greatest that's ever done it. The team benefits from that. You know what I'm saying? Never mind people's opinion, because I've seen cats over the years I've been on this earth. I've seen cats in the NBA has no business being there. I played against some of them, and I know that for a fact. I'm like, how the hell is this dude in the league?
I got
you. Everybody gets opportunities.
Okay, and
he got the ultimate opportunity, but it's like, well, why him? Why not him?
Okay, and what I want to do is I want to get into our topics for today, because we can spend all day talking about the right or wrongs of this situation and our opinions, and that's cool. You know, we can make a show of it, but on the level of how much I care is so minimal. You know why? Because I watch basketball for the entertainment. I don't watch basketball for the people. You understand what I'm saying? Because Moses Malone retired. Dr. J has retired. Now I watch it for the game. You know what I'm saying? So
touchy subject.
It is, but I don't want. You know what it is I don't like. I just brought it up today because it kind of piqued my interest. Because, you know, in the early part of our pod, we go live and we just talk about miscellaneous shit just to get everybody blood flowing, right? Because that's what that topic was for, you know. But I think the topics for conversations today that I sent you guys, the reason why and there was all quotes from different people, right? And I thought that they would be an interesting thing just to hear your guys' opinion of them. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes to hear other people talk about their view of life, it enriches your own. You know, it helps you to focus on what you believe and how strong you believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we just go. And what I want to do is, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with John Hope Bryant. He's a businessman, you know, very high up there. You know, he's a brother who really and truly is big on financial literacy for our community and all these things, right? And I was watching a podcast he was on. I think it was that very flamboyant Cam Newton's podcast. I call him flamboyant because Cam wear his clothes like it's a mask, like it's a costume. Yeah. And I think that's his style. That's why I call him. I don't call him because his preference. It's just, you know, this is how I see him.
He draws that kind of attention.
Yeah, I think that's why he does it. But, you know, Mr. Bryant was on the show, And he said something that was crazy. He said undocumented depression. And he described undocumented depression, what he felt it was. And he said, in a nutshell, if I don't like me, I won't like you. If I don't like me, I won't like you. Right? Jaquari,
Mm-hmm.
that phrase, what is your take on it?
As true as it is, it's true as it is, man. You know, that statement can occupy two positions, man. You know, it's because it's the truth. It's the absolute truth, man. But the world will tell you that if you like yourself to any degree, that you're self-centered, you're narcissistic, you're you know, you have that kind of mindset or whatever. But I mean, self-love, you know, I mean, you think about the last, what, 4 years since COVID, man. Self-love is it's become a very, very big topic of conversation. You know, I mean, when we were growing up, very, very few times, very few occasions, man, can I remember any adult in our lives, you know, telling us as men that we needed to make sure that we were good. Because I mean, if you're not good, then you can't be no good to nobody else. And that's in all things that you do. You got to see you've got to you got to see your pure side, man. So I understand that and agree with the statement. You know, you just can't do it too much.
Gotcha. I got you. DJ, what do you
That's
think?
scary. Man, that's scary. Because I don't want to get y'all censored or anything, but I'm going to say it, damn it. Shit. We got a leader that don't like nobody. I don't think he like himself.
Okay.
I hope you don't get no red X's for that one. You got some people that's incapable of love or liking. They just don't have that genetic inside of them. And then they exacerbated that by growing up into just the craziest situations.
Mm-hmm.
And then they grow up, when they do grow up, they get married and there's no love there. And the kids see it, there's no feeling, there's no infrastructure. So they just say, shit, damn it.
So
People, what I'm saying, people out just like that. It's just, you can't help it. Like I can not like my neighbors, man, but I can speak to them every day. But that don't mean I really care for them. Because why? I hate what's inside of me. I hate myself. So that comes out. So I spend a lot of time, man. I'm not saying me, but then I spend a lot of time forcing myself to love or to like, so I can put that face on, so people will get along with me. When inside, man, I'm a natural born demon, a killer. I don't want to be around nobody. Okay. So that happens, man. And like I said, you know, I think we got a lot of people in the higher ups that's like that, incapable of love. We saw it the other night, 2 nights ago, when the man said in front of the world, all the left wingers and blah, 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 and, you know, this and that. And it went from there. Mm-hmm. All we want is a piece of the pie, man. Let me live. Let me negotiate through life with you. And then if you don't like me, you don't. Because you can tell. We all been around people, you know, that's a hateful SOB right there, man. I don't know. What started that when they were 2, 3 years old or older? What happened? Were they raped, robbed, killed, shot, whatever? And now they hate everybody.
Cause and effect, right.
Yeah.
Cause and effect. And that's scary, man. That's scary.
So let me ask you this real quick, DJ. Real quick, then you, Damon. Is that us as a nation, you feel that way, or is it you feel that way as far as our community? As far as, if I don't like me, I won't like you.
It's the environment that you grow up in. It's not the nation. For me, I just see it. The nation, it is what it is. We got all walks of life. I think it's infused on how you come out and you start 2, 3, 4, 10, 12, the area that you're in. If you never showed that another way, and once it's inside you, Keith, it ain't going nowhere. You can smile and laugh and grin all you want, but that hatred is still inside you because I can't like nobody. I can't love nobody because that's the type of person I am. So I think doggone right is the environment that you raise up in for sure. I think.
Right, exactly.
Could be wrong.
Damon, what about yourself? The term,
See,
if I don't like me, I won't like you. What do you think about
well, but you have to ask yourself what's the cause and effect. What causes you not to like yourself? It might be something as simple as I'm walking around with some MTAs and you walking around with some Adidas and shit. You know that I'm dating myself, but
Yeah.
if I'm being teased by wearing Myers 50 Acres goddamn gym shoes every day, and everybody else walking around in Adidas, I'm gonna be talked about. That's gonna make me harbor some feelings because I'm on the outside. I'm not like everybody else. Who knows what type of psychological effect that might have on you? As simple as not having the right gym shoes. You know what I'm saying? So for me, yes, there are people in that, like they say, there are people in that state of mind because all they know is, criticism and you're not as good enough and you're not this and you're not that. But what combats that? It only take one person. Hey man, you matters and you have a purpose. Let's explore that. Not somebody telling them, hey man, you good at this and you good at that, and you're gonna be great at this. No, it requires them being asked, what is it that you like? Well, I like art. Art don't coincide with what they're teaching in school today. But what if you wind up being a Van Gogh? You know what I'm saying? The world teaches you not to follow your path and the things that you're good at and that you're interested in. It tells you or describes to you how to fit in. And that right there, that's the thing that makes people feel like because I'm not accepted or whatever, then I'm gonna be a bastard.
Okay, right there. Hold on. Let me interrupt you for a second. That's a good one right there. Me and you both freshmen in high school. We walk into the school, first day of school. Me and Damon Armstrong. I got on my Nike Air Ones that cost $200, and you got on them $50 pair or $40 pair of Nuggets. We walk into school side by side, man. The girls sit there and one of them go, man, you got them cheap ass shoes on. What, you broke? How does that make the rest of your day? What do you do in your mind the rest of the day? Answer that question.
You already know the question. You're going to be worried about it because you're going to be made to feel different. You're going to be made to feel inadequate.
Because
see that key right there. That's it right there.
But
nothing to do with who you are, what you're trying to become, but some material bullshit.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, Damon.
That's on material bullshit instead of people getting to know you and say, hey man, you great at this, or I admire you at that. It's like, man, look at this shoe.
That's right.
So let me ask you this. Is it the world or is your parents' responsibility to teach you how to navigate that kind of thing? I understand you have hurt feelings because every kid want to be a part of a group. But who essentially is responsible? And I'm using the word responsible loosely because some people are not able to navigate themselves. You feel what I'm saying?
Both.
So
both.
David, so what do you think?
Who, me? Your parents, man, are going to do the best they can. You know what I'm saying? But by virtue of the fact that you made it to college is an accomplishment, man. And that required some type of positive reinforcement with the child. But anything that's outside of the venue with it, well, I can't afford clothes, but I can get scholarships and all that stuff and get you there. You know what I'm saying? You might get to college with a blanket and an overcoat that you got from your uncle. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? shoes is just like you don't even focus on that. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that's a dead subject.
Mm-hmm.
There's positive. You said it, DJ. There's positive things on both sides, man. But society, peer pressure is the best, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For real.
You know, peer pressure is a bitch, and it has nothing to do with the individual. It has everything to do with everybody's fear and weakness. Well, I'm not. I might be jocked up, but I'm not like him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Jaquari, you had the look on your face that you like you wanted to comment. What did you have a comment?
Yeah, I think as far as your parents and the world, man, it's an unintended team effort. You know what I mean? Because the world is going to teach you no matter how prepared you are to face it. You're going to learn some hard lessons in the world. There's no stopping it. It's your parents' job, man, to prepare you to dissect those lessons and understand, which way to turn next time. Because if it's a fucked up situation, 9 times out of 10, if you go out in the world blind again, it's going to happen again.
Sooner or later.
But can I interject for a second? There are going to be situations, man, where you have no control over, and you're going to experience negative responses, right? But by the same token, there are 2 roads that you can take with that. You can say, I'm going to step my game up, or you can decide whether or not that's important. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you feel that this is important, it doesn't matter what anybody, if you say it's not important, then it doesn't matter what anybody say about your damn shoes. You know what I'm saying? And you have to focus your interests elsewhere as it pertains to your abilities and your skill sets and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's not tricky, man. What it is that people initially, just by first sight, want to knock you off your game. You could be tight as hell, but somebody out of jealousy or whatever is going to say something negative about you. Now, if that negativity they say about you take traction, then it's a problem. You have to sort through the bullshit. But if you have confidence in yourself, you know what I'm saying, based on what you were taught from your elders or whoever, then you be like, man, this dude, that's some clown shit. I'm not going to get involved with it. And it's really as simple as that.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let me ask you guys this then. Assuming a parent's responsibility for their child is, let's just hit it in a nutshell. Teach your child how to love himself, how to take care of himself, how to love and take up their responsibility, right? And teach self-worth in the child, right? Is there another skill? Now, that was just a cursory of the things that most parents directly and indirectly teach their child, right? The religious aspect, all of that. Mm-hmm. But is it something, in all 3 of your opinions, is it something that you feel the parent should teach their children, the girls and the boys, teach their children? I'm gonna let y'all marinate on for a minute because, like I said, it has a lot to do with we understand parental responsibility, and in general, we all kind of agree. And I'm talking about we're gonna give the general stuff, teaching how to survive, how to live, how to work, how to be responsible, the whole 9. DJ, is there one thing, since you've been marinating, and take your time, is there one thing that you feel the parent should teach his girls and his boys?
For sure. So I think the number 1 thing should be how to love. That frightening word. How do you love? What is love? Is it mental? Is it physical? And then how to exude that, how to perpetrate that, how to show it out once you get out into the world. You got some people, man, the parents don't know a damn thing. They don't know how to love. How do you gonna teach the kid how to love? They don't know. They never taught that child. They never taught that boy love. So when he goes out in the world, he's doing what his buddies, what Damon just said. He's learning from his partners, man, or whatever. He don't, or the girls that go out in the world, they don't know love. A child's first love, and ladies that's on this podcast, listen. A little girl's first love should be her dad. Just talk to her and infuse that this is the way I'm treating your mother and your brothers and everybody around you. This is what you should expect from a man. Anything else is freaking unacceptable. You damn sure don't be hitting and inappropriate touching and all that. And then at the same time, the boys got to learn how to love from their fathers and their mothers. Because when they see dad treat mom accordingly, oh man, okay. He don't call a H word or a B word or MF and all that. So that must be the right way. So then when he gets those feelings and gets 13, 14, 15, he'll know, okay, now if the girls take advantage of him and take his candy and take his money because he's trying to buy, stuff, man, he think that's the way, then that's another story. But absolutely it should start at home if those children are lucky to have that. If they know.
If my son wants some chocolate and he can pay for the chocolate, I'm gonna let him do it. I'm just kidding.
Let it do what it do.
Jaquari, what do you think? What's your opinion about it?
Well, first, man, I think parents need to teach their children the lesson of no, how to say it and how to hear it. And secondly, man, they need to teach their children that whatever they want, no matter what it is it's on the other side of no. You just got to figure a new route.
Damn, boy.
That's deep right there.
We're 51:46 into this podcast, and that was profound as hell, brother. Real. That's real.
Thank you,
Not
sir.
tricky, but profound. Damon, I think you were gone. I don't know if you heard the question, but
Go ahead, repeat it.
when it comes to, we're going to assume the basics when it comes to raising your sons and daughters. Teach them how to love, teach them how to work their way through life, how to accept responsibility, all those different things, right? What is the one thing that you could teach your daughter, you would want people to be able to teach their daughters and teach their sons?
The only thing I can do is lead by example, man. You know what I'm saying? Going through my own maturation process with my child.
Okay. Before you go on, I want you to name what you feel as far as, okay, leading by example, that's fine, but what would you physically say to them if they were to keep it? What would you physically say to them you want them to know?
That they matter, man. What their feelings, emotions matter as it pertains to putting out in the world. Because the one thing you're not going to avoid is pitfalls, man. Because pitfalls, with pitfalls comes wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Understanding what it is about yourself that you accept and you don't accept. In a humanitarian state, living with people in proximity with you. You know, how you want to be treated. You understand that you don't want to be treated this way. So why would you go out and treat somebody else a way that you don't want to be treated? It's having awareness of yourself. But initially, you have to understand that, kids love candy, man. And you take your child to the store and that child sees some candy and pick it up and put it in his pocket for later and shit. Is that stealing? Or is that kid without the understanding that I just want what I want? I don't know the consequences of it, in real time until I'm taught that. But I just want what I want. And I'm being reactionary. You know what I'm saying? So it's all the process of knowing thyself, bro. knowing thyself, that's not appropriate. I know you want it. All you had to do was ask for it, not just take. So there's a lesson in that. But when it comes to your personality and who you are, nothing is outside of you, man, until you understand what's inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. And there's lessons and there's wisdoms to be gained and all that. So each one of us as individuals have to understand, in our own personal perspective, what's right or wrong. You might be with your friends and say, hey man, your friends say, take the candy, man, go ahead, and then we're gonna run away from the damn building while the proprietor or the owner's chasing us. You know what I'm saying? And then you might come to the conclusion, hey, you know what? I got away with that shit.
Gonna do it again.
You know? Right. And it perpetuates itself, man. It doesn't make sense. It has to be internalized. It has to be about, okay, what is right and wrong for you? You see somebody get hurt and you emotional about it. You can't have somebody come to me, hey man, stuff those feelings, man. You got to be hard. You got to be this and but that's outside of that person.
So you're saying what the point you're making right now, a parent has to teach that child about the consequences of that. Okay.
Because your child might be that child that just see some candy and go put it in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? You don't berate the child and make them feel like they monsters or they just ain't shit. You say, no, that's not the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? If you want the candy, I decide whether or not that I'll buy it from you, but you have to understand it has to be purchased, not just taken. You have to be able to try to, right? You have to be able to illustrate that to that child so that child can understand that I have to make rational decisions based on my own self, not just picking up the candy because I like it, but there's consequences. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And you have to make those decisions based on your personality and your reactions, and and what you're displaying. Those are teaching moments, bro.
Okay. But you could be in a household full of disciplinarians, and everybody doing right, right from wrong, and they'll still go out and steal something, still do it. And the first thing the police say, well, man, you got a nice mom and daddy, come from a nice home. How many times y'all heard that? And the son of a bitch is still out there and shooting and killing and robbing and raping and doing all kind of madness. He don't like himself, or he don't know how to love, or he don't know how to respect nobody else or her.
It's a speculation of them trying to just satisfy the immediate palate when they do those things. That's my opinion. I'm not offering it as an explanation. It's just my opinion.
But there's some validity there. Validity, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Validity to that, Keith. People innately, young kids, see what they want, and that's what they want, and they throw tantrums and all that shit. Somebody has to be there to guide them to an understanding that has to be earned or whatever. But there has to be something in place to teach them in order for them to understand that their actions mean something. Their actions mean something. You know what I'm saying? You just can't be that way. You got to understand there's consequences to everything.
Okay.
There's consequences and rewards.
Jaquar, you have something to say?
If I was to say to you guys, if I was like to walk my whole statement back and say that I would like for parents to teach their children that love is important, but it's nowhere near as important as respect is.
I like that. I can get along with that.
Yeah, people put a lot of emphasis on love, but love throughout my lifetime and all of our lifetimes, man, has been manipulated and stretched and distorted, to fit everybody, everybody who functions in a relationship to fit what they need it to be. But you can't necessarily do that with respect, because people in the world don't necessarily require you to love them, but they do demand you to respect them.
Repercussions come with respect, and love don't have repercussions. In so many words, you know what I mean?
Well, love is an emotional state. Some people can be drunk by that shit, man. It's a good feeling.
That's
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
The glow in your warm feeling in your belly. Shit. I have a question for you. And it's along the same veins of this. If one,
So Keith, Keith got me sitting.
Keith Barnes, what's
What
going
up,
on? This is still along the same lines of what we're talking about. I thought about this today, and I want your comments. And we're gonna start with you, Damon. No, we're gonna start with you, Jaquari, and then Damon, and then DJ. Okay. The statement is: survivors of the struggles make the strongest men and women. What is your opinion about that, Jaquari? Give me an elaboration. This is not a right or wrong. I want to hear you guys' actual thoughts about this. Chat, if you want to make a comment, please make a comment on that question. You know, survivors of struggles make the strongest men and women, and let us know your opinion, and we'll comment it also. Jaquari?
People put a lot of stock in survival, man. You know, I do myself. You know, I'm a survivor myself, man. But you know, would you do you want to survive, or would you rather thrive? That's the question.
Good point.
You know what I mean? It's a natural state for us to teach our children to survive, man. You know, on the barest minimum.
Next level, yeah.
On the barest minimum. You know what I mean? Once we set that example, man, to show them that, you know, we ain't got to finish where we start, and with a little sweat equity, we can be happy. We can get close to it. You know, so I mean, I respect survivors, man, I do, but that's not like the final boss of life.
Good point. Damon, what you think?
Surviving is, you know, there's consequences to that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing to eat, and your only recourse is to go out and knock somebody upside the head, rob them. There's consequences to that. That's survival. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom is the understanding that you don't have to do that, and you can find another way.
Okay.
You know, and you ain't got to deal with drastic consequences of your actions. You know what I'm saying? So that requires people to be in your life to teach you or guide you in that direction, man, because it's easy to be in survival. Hell, being hungry makes you do all kind of shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It just does, man. You know what I'm saying? And you're acting on that basic human mindset that, you know what? Ain't nobody going to feed me. I got to figure out how to feed myself, and it's going to cost somebody. You know what I'm saying? Where in reality, it really doesn't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? You know, you hear people always talking about, hey, man, I'm from the streets. That's not something to be proud of, man, because you know you created the streets. And that they was a victim. You know what I'm saying? I survived the streets, but let me tell you something different. So you didn't have to do what I did. Okay, we appreciate that sentiment, man. But you still got victims. You know what I'm saying? And that requires somebody to teach you a different way, man. To show you that you don't have to starve, man. Just get you a damn job. You can go work at McDonald's, man, and whatever hamburgers they got left over tonight, that's something to eat, right?
I used to do that shit all the time.
Yeah. Hey, Damon, you're on fire. DJ, you can go after this, but I need to ask Damon this.
Sure.
As a matter of fact, I'll come back to you, Damon. DJ, what you think?
You got me nervous now.
No. You was on fire with that last statement.
So, see this T-shirt, right? This sweatshirt I got on.
Yeah,
I got it from one. I got it from one person, Coach Prime. Coach Prime was raised by his mother. Didn't have a lot of nothing. Went to Florida State. when the NFL became the second greatest defensive player of all time. He tells his story. Podcasts, shows, everything. Whether you like him or not, he do what he does. I reference that because me and my sister, we pretty much raised ourselves. Oops, should have let that out, but I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna get a little intimate with y'all. In the city of Chicago, we grew up on our own, pretty much learning. And so some folks say that I'm hard. Well, I had to learn how to be hard, not just going out killing and shooting. I had to learn how to study. I had to learn how to take tests. I had to learn how to become a young man. And I was like, damn, I'm out of high school. I can't go to college because we don't got money. I got to do something at 17 years old. That's why I went in the military. I'll share that with y'all. You've got to learn your place and how to make your niche in the world. It ain't always going to be somebody there holding your hand, showing you right and wrong. It's just the way it is. Hopefully there is, but I didn't have mom and daddy showing me the right and wrong. And that made me a better parent, made me a better human being, because there were some times I didn't like myself. So folks say, well, man, how are you capable of loving others? It took trials and tribulations to do that. So this topic that y'all brothers are talking about tonight is near and dear to my heart because I lived it. I know what it's all about for the most part. So yeah, I'm with you 100%.
Okay. Damon, I you know how when somebody's on a roll, something popped in my mind real quick to follow up, but then DJ came with sharing his eloquent share, and it popped out my mind. So I'm gonna come back to you with that. I don't know, and look, you don't have to sweat bullets because I'm older. I'm older, so you have to understand.
Hey, I have no problem with being challenged, bro.
Hey, you better take me some damn Prevagen, man.
I have no problem with being challenged, man. I just don't like the time frame.
Oh no, it was not. I was not going to challenge you, and really and truly, what I wanted you to do was the one thing I remember. What I wanted you to do was expand on the nugget that you gave us. You see what I'm saying? And I think the reason why I haven't asked the question because it was something specific I wanted you to talk about. But like I said, it escapes me right now. But I'm gonna find it.
It'll come to you, bro.
Yeah. But look, listen. I forgot to do this. This is Strong Perspective Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Please go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. Build our subscription up. Once we reach 1,000, then the algorithm is going to say, "Hey, I see you now. We're going to throw you a little bone." You feel what I'm saying? Well, help us out. Tell a friend who's going to tell a friend who's going to tell a friend to go and spend 30 seconds and like, share, and subscribe. Especially subscribe to our situation. You know why? Because we have a lot to share.
Definitely.
The people that we bring on, I describe them as experts in their life. Because what we want to do is get people to talk about themselves and what they see and how they see it. And I think, and Damon, Jaquari, you can tell me, I think that we have been very, very lucky. We have been very, very lucky so far of having some of the greatest guests and some of the greatest conversations in the last 2 and 3/4 years. You feel what I'm saying? So,
yeah, y'all rolling, man, for real.
Joe Rogan, I don't really watch his program, right? Because I don't think he's wrong. I don't think he's right. He's just not my cup of tea. But he has some interesting guests. And he had a guest on there who wrote a book, a self-help book, right? And the one thing I was surfing through, and I stopped for a moment, and the timing of it was so perfect when it came to the topic. And what they said was, and he was describing this book, what he got in the gist of this book. He said, "You're not stuck in life. You're stuck in your own head. You're not stuck in life. You're stuck in your own head." And I'll tell you why I thought that was a good subject, for us to talk about. Because it's been many times in my winning and losing in life that what slowed everything down was me being in my head about what's going on instead of quickly addressing it and dealing with it. Win, lose, or draw. Right? Getting caught up on the anxiety of it. I have a lot of anxiety. I wear it well. As a matter of fact, people on the outside, other than the folks that know me, would say that I don't have any anxiety, the way that I respond to things. But I have the hurricane in my head because sometimes I'm an overthinker. And I think that's what this quote, he said. I forget the name of the book, ladies and gentlemen. And Chad, if you know, please let me know. But it's about 100 pages, but it deals with being stuck in your own head, right? And it screamed at me when I heard it because throughout my whole life, I have always been in my own head until I had to kick myself out of it to respond to what I had to do. Okay? Damon, what's your opinion about that quote? You're not stuck in life, you're stuck in your own head.
Well, I think that's a broad open statement, man, because it's situational, man. Everybody got their own things that they're going through. If you're stuck in your own head, you're responding to shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You're responding to things and you're struggling with it. You know what I'm saying? Moving outside of that struggle, man, requires you to still be in your own head, but adjusting to it where it matters to you in your own, personal particular life. You know what I'm saying? You can't come to the conclusion, I'm stuck in my own head, so I need to be understanding everything. No, you still required to stand your ground, but you figure out what makes you comfortable, what makes you stand on your own shit. And sometimes standing on your shit is okay. You know what I'm saying? You're not wrong all the time, bro. Okay. You're not wrong all the time. Some things, man, the biggest evil in the world is that thing that makes you think outside of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Based on rational decisions and all that shit. And how many brothers we know got caught up in that shit? Brothers and sisters, really.
Yep. Plenty.
But if you standing strong on something, that means that you have a conviction about something as it pertains to who you are. The word is, the phrase is escaping me right now, but you're standing on something, your conviction. Now, if you're going to move outside of your conviction, out of wisdom, you're learning something and you become the better person, the better product. You know what I'm saying? But you can't summarily dismiss who you are if you're stuck on something. You can't summarily dismiss that. You know what I'm saying? You have to ask yourself, why am I so into this thought processes, and I'm struggling with trying to not move from it. It's because you have conviction, you have respectability, you have something, man, that you feel that is helping you navigate in the world. Because the worst thing you can do is lose yourself because people don't agree with you. Maybe the situation is they need to understand where you're coming from, and it's meant for them to learn from you. You know what I'm saying? Never lose yourself. It's like, hey man, I'm standing on that, bro. Come with me. I'm standing on it. Very few people had that conviction, man. You know what I'm saying? Very few.
That's deep.
I tell you what, I like your answer because it shows you and I are not exactly opposite on the spectrum. But
Oh shit! This is another number 2 question.
no, it's not. It's not. This is a statement. My example of that and your example of that are credible, but they're two different examples. You feel what I'm saying?
Lay it on me.
Because the way that you see it, you have no. Your thoughts are not dominated by anxiety, right?
Right.
And I said I have to not allow my anxiety dominate my thoughts. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Because I like that because it's two different points of view. DJ.
Yes, sir.
What do you think? You're not stuck in life, but you're stuck in your own head.
I think you can do both. And do it silently and be suffering. You stuck in life because you at a job you don't want to be at. You know, you in a relationship you don't want to be in. And what are you telling yourself every day you go home or you go to work? Damn it, I don't want to be here. I wish I had something else. You're in a relationship where you stuck and you say, man, I wish I had something else. And you start replaying that back, reversing it. You're saying, man, am I capable of love? Well, I might have failed at that because now I ended up where I'm at. I don't know what to do, but I got to keep going. You know why? I got bills to pay. I got kids. I ain't showing them no love, right? We talked about that. All that. I'm stuck. And in my head, I don't know how to get out of it. You know, what do I commit suicide? End it all so I can just take the coward way out? Or do I just try to form friendships and talk to people or get counseling to try to help me get me out of this situation I'm in? Now, I don't put a lot of gain on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's a little man. He's what, 5'8", 5'9", has a huge personality, and he does his podcast, and can be manipulative, but he's an opportunist.
Of course.
And he'll do whatever he can to get ahead. UFC and the cabinet now that's in the White House occupying all that. We're not getting into that. But yeah, you're darn right. You can do both, and it happens. Okay. How are you going to get out of the situation that you're in? Do you got money? You can buy your way out happiness? Can you get high every day or drink alcohol every day and get out of it because it's in your head? Man, I'm nothing. I'm worthless. Where does it go from there? Man, this is life we playing. This is everyday true facts that just don't go away.
Yeah.
And you start thinking, am I worthless? Am I nothing? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And then what if you don't get that break? What if you don't get that forward situation where it gets you out of where you are and you just stuck there forever? You think anyway at that point. What do? Because you know why? The question you said is in your head. And if it never leaves out of that cranial right there, that you or whatever you stuck in, you're never going to change. Yeah. Never.
Jaquari, before you go, Keith Barnes says morals instilled in you. Your circumstances, opportunities can have you stuck in your head trying to decide. That is 4 different opinions so far. Jaquari, what do you think?
Well, bro, like it or not, man, self-doubt is a survival mechanism. you know, and at one point in our history, we needed it. You know, so it was self-doubt that kept us around the campfire and out of the fucking woods being eaten by fucking lions and bears and shit.
I like that.
But at an earlier point in our history, we also had tails, but we perfected walking upright, so we got rid of the tails. You know, it's a thing of evolution, man. I believe it was either Carl Jung or Sigmund Freud who said the inner voice is a liar.
That's real.
Your brain was designed to protect you from danger at any cost. That includes the risk you take when you're searching for prosperity. You know, that's why we get stuck. You know, we come to enjoy the comfortable chaos that we create. We call it life. You know, if my situation is familiar to me, no matter how fucked up it is, you know I can function in it.
Yes. Well, hey, let me ask this question right quick. Spo, what if you don't have no resources or a way to get in a situation where it becomes healthy for you?
One more time, DJ.
What if you can't, or just don't have the ability to have resources or have a way out, and you stuck in that situation, you can't move forward? What do you do then? Just food for thought.
Well, you humble yourself and you ask questions. You know, eventually you got to get tired of shitting and falling back in it.
Okay.
You know, like if you take the guy in the African bush, man, you know, 1 million years ago, looking for water. You know, he didn't know how to find water. He didn't know you could dig a hole or something, you know, in moist earth, and eventually the puddle, you know, the water will accumulate in the puddle. He didn't know that, but he did know that fucking monkeys and baboons and lions and shit was around him drinking water.
Yeah, so surviving. Yeah.
So what did he do? He followed them. He followed them, and he picked up their survival traits, and he adapted them to his own. So if you don't have any resources, you got to look around you and see who or what is successful, and try to pick up those traits.
Damn, that's deep. Wow.
But
that's some college. Hey, that's some college shit right there, boy. Wow.
But isn't that self-preservation though?
Hey, yeah.
I mean, it's just, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
If you're about self-preservation, you don't give a damn what's stuck in your head, bro. You just trying to survive, right?
But and that's also strength of character too when you get stuck in your head because it's insecurity, right?
But at one point, does it get into your head? Self-preservation. At what point does that come? It doesn't come overnight. Like I said, it'll take you a minute of shitting and falling back in it.
Wow.
So optimism needs to dominate what you're doing.
Well, hell, if you dying from thirst, of course you're gonna find a monkey or somebody is gonna show the way.
What you're gonna be doing is drinking monkey blood.
You know what I'm saying?
You know that shit. Hey, you know that shit is wet, and that monkey's like, "Hey man, you ain't got to drink me. Here's the water right here."
The opposing side, you got that elder saying, "Hey man, stop taking your ass out there in the bush. We gotta come and find you, man." And last time we almost didn't find you.
Yeah. But can that help?
Tell your life.
But can that hey, Spo, can you do that same concept on your job though?
Yeah.
When you going to work every day?
That's a point of your question right there.
No.
Absolutely,
yes. You can follow the rules, but yes.
Absolutely, you can.
You can add it into that situation. That is some real shit.
That's why they tell you to dress for the position that's ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do that apply for us as black men? You know what I'm saying? The little things, man, get us fired from jobs and shit.
Of course,
Mm.
of course.
You know
But see, that's why you
You
learn.
stand on your and you be at that office talking about, hey man, I need food stamp. Stand on your principle.
But I'm gonna tell you the thing about
Wow.
it is, there's a way to stand on principle, but you have to learn that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And the thing about it is learning your job. I'm talking about being an expert at what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Me and DJ coming from law enforcement. The one thing about it is what I have taught myself to do, because there's a set of rules that we had to follow. There's a set of rules, professional behavior we had to follow. And I never strayed from that professional behavior. Yes, there's moments that I could alter from it, right? But in the nutshell, I did what I was supposed to do. You feel me? Because
Yeah.
once you learn, once you become, and I say that 30 years of what we did, we became experts at it. We became experts at it at year 15.
Mm. Mm.
If you were serious.
That's right.
So you're able to really and truly, if you have personal feelings in it, if you get caught up in it, right? If you thought hard enough, you could still do your job, but appease that personal feelings too.
But Damon said something that's really, man. So do we, as black men, you mentioned that, do we have to be twice as good or work twice as hard?
Hell, you should think like that.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I
Why?
mean, look, we're
Why
looking
can't
at
I just be equal?
To answer your question,
because it's not set up like that.
Wow.
you have to be cognizant of both sides, man,
Of course.
because both sides can end you as a black man. So you have to learn how to navigate. Now you can be starting to stand on your shit 10 toes down. That might cost you. Okay? But if you got responsibilities, you have to be creative and find other ways, not in weakness, but find other ways.
Okay.
Other ways that's oppressing you have no awareness of.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How about
They
that?
have no awareness of it. You know what I'm saying? How many of us has raised kids that's educated and is doing the right thing in spite of what we faced? Because that's what the world don't want to understand. Hey man, DUI and this and that shit don't affect us.
That's right.
The only
Come
thing
on.
that affects us was ever going on today. The only thing that affects us is that how we as black men and women adjust to that bullshit. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that we are faced with is surviving it. Not adjusting to it, but surviving, because there's been numerous situations put in front of us where we had to find another way.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had to find another way. And that's our experience.
So right quick, stop right there. Okay, this is real important, Keith. It's real important.
Hold on to it, because I wanted to,
Okay.
this has been on the screen.
Okay.
And I want to address it before we move on. Marcus Smith says, generational curses can have you stuck. You want to move forward, but don't know how, and can't reach out to your village because they stuck too.
Wow. Right there. Yeah.
I wanted to put that out there because it's been on the screen. Go ahead, DJ.
So, Damon, let's say we striking like Amazon did and all that, right? They all striking. 15,000 out there striking. You got 3 children at home that need their bills paid, braces and all that. Do you break the line and go in and say, I'm going to be a scab and I'm just going to go to work every day and do what you're supposed to do because you know you need your job? And then once the strike is over, face that scrutiny that you can't work with us because you crossed the line? How do you handle that?
How I would handle it, that if I committed to the collective, man, the whole, then I don't cross the line, bro. Understanding there's consequences to it. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm about family survival and all that stuff and implementing something in my kids' head, it's about, okay, you have to figure out how to navigate the bullshit. You're going to get naysayers and you're going to get people that criticize you, but everybody is not from your home. They don't know what the hell you're going through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're not Martin Luther King and old girl sat on the bus. We're not them.
Rosa
We can't
Parks.
boycott Rosa Parks. We can't boycott for a year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we got obligations that need to be met for our own personal survival. So that requires not to give in to the situation, but what it requires is for cooler heads to prevail and come up with a solution that helps everybody.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, man, most people experience losses differently, man. You know what I'm saying? You might experience losses where, hey, man, you know, I've been put on furlough, so you know, I can only work certain weeks and whatever, and my check is short. Where somebody losing their damn house.
Mm. True.
Somebody else is losing their house. You can't convince that person losing their house to be like, hey, man, I understand that your check is short, but I can't afford for my check to be short. So that requires people to think through the bullshit, the tribal shit, and say, okay, how do we as collectively as a whole survive a situation at minimal cost? At minimal cost, because that requires you to think about somebody else and them thinking about you too and find common ground to work in that situation. Whereas people that's against you don't think like that. They sit around and they talk about reverse racism. What the hell is that shit? You know what I'm saying? That people make up those type of concepts and statements to cause controversy, and it's meaningless. It don't mean shit. It don't mean anything. What matters and what means everything is that we got all these people from the federal government that got fired and shit, and then they're gonna tell them, and here's the irony of it. Hey man, give us a statement why you should keep your job. What kind of that's stupid, man, because it's always going to end in failure.
Set up.
Okay.
So what is so you know what I'm saying? There's smart people on both sides. How do you combat that shit? You get involved with the courts and all that stuff and the Constitution and what the law entails.
Okay. Before we go into, because you're branching off into something else, Jaquari, what is your answer to DJ's question? As far as what would you do? Because that's interesting. I have my own take, but what is your take?
Okay, I was listening to Damon, man. I missed the question.
So my question was, if there's, let's say there's a picket, there's a strike going on, like what happened to Amazon and UPS and all that. Do you stand out there with your sign with the other 15,000 people, or do you say, you know what? I need to pay my bills. I need to take care of things. I'm gonna be a scab and cross the line and go to work every day, knowing that you're gonna face this retribution when the strike is over. How people gonna look at you different, and that's stuck in your head.
Yeah, I my first commitment was to the collective, as Damon said, and I think the best example I could set for my children is to stand with the collective.
Okay.
And you know, fulfill my commitment. That's number one. And number two, in the long run, when demands are met, you know, I'm going back to work anyway. I know shit's gonna be tight, but shit's always gonna be tight. And you impart those tight time lessons to your children during tight times.
Wow. Okay.
Real talk.
Well, no, you don't teach the lessons during tight times. You always teach the lessons or whatever, but you know, you enact, you implement those lessons during the tight times.
I mean, me personally, if the strike is done right, I'm standing with the collective. But if it's some impromptu, passionate, reflexive shit, first and foremost, I'm gonna tell the collective, you are not doing this shit right.
Okay.
And I got a family. So I'm not gonna cross the picket line. I'm going to fuck the work.
Mm.
You want to know why? Because when it's done right, why the UAW became strong in Detroit, because they did it right. You pay your dues you pay dues to the union for a reason.
Mm.
Now it may not cover your whole check, but it's enough for your family to eat, and each union member was able to at least get closer to paying their mortgage or their
Mhm.
rent.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it was done right. Teamsters were done right. Right? The Amazon folks, I see that they, if I'm not mistaken, it was successful to a point,
Mm-hmm. That's right.
but they were not unionized. This is the state of North Carolina. Now, maybe across other parts of the country, they was unionized. State of North Carolina, there's no such thing as unions.
Mm.
So you're on strike. You taking a chance to be replaced.
That's why I asked that question.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're taking a chance to be replaced. Yeah, I want to stand with the collective. There's no doubt about it. But all along, I'm saying, hey, man, let's do this right. If we're going to do this thing, we can plan to do this in 6 months. It's collecting money for the whole, for food banks, for you know what I'm saying? To
Right.
be able to survive a strike. And I'm not trying to be clever when I say this. I'm saying, me personally, I don't have a problem with standing with the collective. Not at all. Right?
Good enough.
But when my family is in danger, bro, standing with the collective will be in danger of being overridden until you give me a good reason to do so. Because I'm not a muckraker. I'm not look, if I don't want to be a scab, but if I'm fucked up financially, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you stand
Yeah,
alone.
but that's you know what though, if you are in that situation, it's easy to express that, man, when people come to an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, look here, man, I'm not gonna suffer. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to have character, you know what I'm saying, and stand on your convictions, man. But sometimes life don't give you that, man. Sometimes it's like, dude, you have two choices. Either survive or not.
Right there. One or the other.
You know what I'm saying? So the answer to me is that everybody come to the understanding that there are sacrifices that are going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And if you're willing to get involved with the fight, then you got to stand on it. Your character says that, hey man, you know what type of man is you going to be? You understood the repercussions. Are you going to stand on it? Or you gonna go to the other side because you were being made to feel uncomfortable. See, there's a difference between struggling and not surviving and just simply being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
So that requires you to make a man's choice. You got to make a decision on that and stand on it.
If I'm by
You know what I'm
myself, I'm standing with the collective without hesitation. If I got responsibility, I have to really weigh it.
Hey, bro, what you do, man? When
Take your ass to work, man.
You standing on yourself, and you with the collective, and you tired of eating goddamn ramen noodles with dogs cut in it. What you?
Hey, go your ass to work and then transfer.
Hey, y'all. blood
I'm with
pressure.
I'm with all this here, the right thing to do. And them damn bills is coming in. The damn condos and shit is coming in.
Vienna sauce, look, Vienna sausage and thick slice of bologna.
Yeah. They eat so much
with
shit.
crackers.
Yeah.
And your blood pressure high, and your doctor tell you, say, hey man, you can't continue to do this shit, man. You gotta
You talking about if I don't like me, I don't like you. That'd be one of them situations right there.
Hog head cheese.
Living off of red skin bologna and shit.
See? Yes, sir. That government cheese, man. That Wonder Bread.
all that factors in, bro.
All right, last question of the day. And then as quick as response as possible. The statement: people born with least are capable of gaining the most. What is your opinion about that statement? People who are born with the least are capable of gaining the most. We'll start with you, Damon.
Yeah, that go all the way back to slavery, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Elaborate.
We didn't never discover chitlins, and that's all, wasn't all we had.
Look, discover how to clean them motherfuckers, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Surviving, self-preservation. I mean, it's just simple as that, man. How to. That's why we as black people are not in fear of what's going on today, because we know at the end of the day we're gonna figure the shit out, man. We're gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna struggle. We're gonna, go through all the bullshit. But at the end of the day, what do we know? What do the world know us as? Those people who know how to survive the bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. DJ.
So let me shock everybody. DEI. I repeat, DEI was not just for black folks, y'all. It was started out for white women. It just happened that Latinos, Hispanics, blacks, and Asians, and disabled folks and other collectives were taking advantage of that. There are those that think that black folks is just DEI. That is not the case. They're just not happening. So with all those put into a fishbowl, because they were all, for one reason or another, disadvantaged, it was given an advantage so you can be competitive, so you can get somewhere to pay your rent, not be on the streets doing all kind of stuff, so you can go to school and you name it, a myriad of activities, so that you can gain the most or be the most that you can be for some. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Now, for me, I think, you go to school or you go and you get employed and you do your thing and you work your way up the hard way, because that's the American way. Well, that was part of it. Don't knock people because of they trying to better themselves, because they come up from the bootstraps and had nothing. Got people that come across the border, man, didn't have anything. Came here to America, man, to better themselves. And those are the folks, man, that are fixing your food and cutting your grass and working on your cars. Making this country strong. Because what did the Statue of Liberty say? The whole world, give me the least of these to make this a better country. It didn't say just Ukrainians and Germans and French and British and blah, blah, Australians and South Africans. Y'all know where I'm going. It's everybody. It's a melting pot. That's why America is as strong as it is. It ain't just one. You can change the base names to anything you want and change anything you want. But when it comes down to it, 380 million people make the United States of America, not the 170 million, 150 million. Y'all know where I'm going with that. This is the way it is. I was on the sheriff's department where we were like, 10% African American men and 2% women. That's just the way it was. We struggled, we survived, and we got what we were. And we did a hell of a job. I think so. Nobody gave us anything. Matter of fact, there was some situation where it could have been a little bit tough on us. Keep, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, absolutely. The least of these can become the best. We got a president that did 8 years straight. He was elected twice. He wasn't a DEI hire. But he was an educated man, educated himself, became a U.S. senator, and became president, and did a hell of a job. Matter of fact, that's my president till this day. Do what you got to do with it.
No doubt. Jaquari, what do you think?
That statement puts me in the mind of something I heard Orson Welles say one time. Dick Cavett, I think it was Dick Cavett. He was doing an interview about the process he went through when he directed War of the Worlds, and when he started, he didn't have experience. He didn't know anything about making movies or whatever. He just did it, because he didn't understand that a lot of this shit wasn't supposed to be able to be done.
Okay. And
he didn't worry about his limitations. He seen what he wanted, he knew what he wanted, and he went out and did it. That's the blueprint for people in that situation, man. The least of us, man, we don't really understand, how much we can fuck up. And I got that from Pop, man. He said, fuck up, son, don't fuck down. You know what I mean? When you fucking down, you moving backwards. As long as you got forward momentum, man, you can work yourself out of any goddamn situation that arises.
Wow. Do you mind sharing with people what you do for a living?
I work with at-risk youth, man.
There you go. I hope everybody understands that.
Yeah.
Because it encompasses everything we've been talking about tonight is what this man does for a living. Repeat, at-risk youth. How about that?
Hey, speaking of the same man, I came to the crib from college and shit, and I was talking about racism and all this stuff that I was dealing with and all that shit. And he said, so you want to lead the charge of that shit, huh? Say, hell yeah, because I feel this way and this, that, whatever. He said, well, son, you reacting right now, man. And I was like, what do you mean, man? He said, man, you reacting out of anger and all this stuff. I said, yeah, because that's how I feel. He said, did you do that shit to get your ass in that college? Were you reactionary when you got yourself into college? Which situation is positive, man? Which situation you gonna gain more from? And I left and I was pissed, man. So it stopped being about what I experienced at college and started being about him and shit. And I decided whether or not he was right or wrong. And he was absolutely right. I'm reacting to shit, man. You know what I'm saying? He said most black people respond to racism. You know what I'm saying? So you do have control over that. And that requires you to be your best self, because guess what, people, living in a capitalistic society, man, it's about the biggest and the brightest and the best.
That's right.
You don't have to be what they tell you are. You just have to stand on what you think you are, your biggest and your brightest and your best, and let them decide. You pick and choose which one you want to choose from. And that was a hell of a damn statement he made to me, because it made sense in real time. I'm like, where am I? I don't have to beg to be here. They need me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I make their life easy, their job easy. So at that point in time, I was able to dictate what the hell I wanted to do. And after that, life became easy for me. It became easy because I know how to deal with bullshit. I was just struggling how to deal with success, man. And once I figured that out, once I got the advice and I figured it out, I'm like, okay. From that point then, all it's about is ambition, man.
How do you feel about having to teach your children they got to be better than or twice as good, work twice as hard to be twice as good. What about that?
For me?
Anybody?
Yeah, I try to teach my daughter, man, to be the best she could possibly be. You know, because I knew to put her in competition with you know the all being they.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was going to pigeonhole her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Do the best because you are the goddamn best. Because that's what I raised you to be.
I think me personally, I've always worked off of it is better to have too much than not enough. So if I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of hard work, I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of paranoia along with that.
Because you got sons, Keith.
But that's my point, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's the simple fact that it's my competitive spirit that I'm speaking on mostly. You understand what I'm saying to you? The simple fact that Jaquari said it, I am going to teach you to be the very best. My dad used to say, hey, look, if you can't be the best, be one of the best. So you should be pushing forward to do whatever you can. And see, there's no exact wording because some people, and you guys can attest to this, some people will go through life not trying, and because of the energy that they give off, they benefit. They get the benefits of things, no matter what it is. Like we spend time being mad at somebody getting promoted, and they wasn't even thinking about getting promoted. Is because maybe their skin or their personality. You know what I'm saying? It don't have nothing to do with color. It has a lot to do with if you in that kind of situation, had a lot to do with that person's energy.
So what you saying? We just swallow that and just keep going.
Not swallow it. No, sir. Hell no.
I don't agree with that. You don't get to swallow
you know why?
shit.
You want to know why? Because you have to know where you are. Don't ever ignore where you are. You better, if you get passed over, you better know that you got passed over and you are not accepting this shit. What you're doing is biding your time for the next best thing. Making a plan.
I like that. I like that.
You got to think about it. At one time, our ancestors had to put their head down when they was going into unfamiliar places. They had to put their head down and just work their asses off.
Mm-hmm.
They had to. Our generations, I'm the last year of baby boomers. Then my brothers are Gen Xers. You know, me and you baby boomers, DJ.
Correct.
Think about it. A generation before me and you, DJ, our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents had to put their heads down and make that damn money. And make
That's right. That's right.
Because they had hatred and real overt bigotry that was standing in their way.
That's right.
That's what they did. Some of us was blessed with enough to eat and with the mindset of I'm more.
Perseverance.
You know, I'm more because I was taught to be more. That's all.
But the hurt and pain is still there. The hurt and pain is still there, though.
But this is what I had to do, man, with my kids, my 3 kids, man. Because of my own personal experience being passed over and all the bullshit, I had to fight my way on for the littlest bullshit or whatever. This is what I taught each one of my kids, man. And this is what my dad taught me. I told my kids, I said, man, look at all the great people that accomplished something that the world follows and shit, right?
Okay.
All the Shakespeare and Galileo and all these different people. Galileo didn't have somebody in front of him saying, hey, man, let me show you this so you can whatever. No, he came up with his own concepts. You know what I'm saying? He became one of the world's greatest scientists, whatever. Shakespeare, with his sonnets and all that shit, became one of the best writers ever. He didn't have anybody to tell him. He just followed his own self. So when you think about it in essence, it's not about what the world dictates. That's just you fitting into a card. Most of the famous people came up with concepts that people said, oh man, that shit is deep. I didn't know that. How did you come up with that? I pushed myself and I saw what my skill set was, and this is what I came up to. You know what I'm saying? Van Gogh didn't experience success and all that stuff during his lifetime, but guess what his pictures cost? His paintings cost. You know what I'm saying? He was an individual person who had an idea or concept of how he wanted to, what to do with the abstract painting and all that shit. Picasso, he came up with abstract painting. That was out of his own mind, his own personal self. You know what I'm saying? Who he believed himself to be. That's what people admire. People who think outside of the box. People who stand on their own self, who don't compromise who they are to fit in the car. That's what I taught my kids. You know what I'm saying? You matter. You have a purpose. And it's all predicated on how much desire you have to implement that in the world. You know, no matter being afraid of what the consequences is. You know what I'm saying? But isn't that making a statement?
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? All it takes is to make one statement outside of the box based on your own self and your own personality and who you are. That's all it takes.
See, you have to understand, guys, that, you know, us on this screen right now, when we went to school, if it was not, and I'm not bringing the racial thing into it, I'm bringing the reality of it. If I didn't have a black woman or a black man teaching me in class, right, I was taught a different thing, somebody else's version of history, right? The best thing that ever happened to me is God's honest truth. Y'all remember, I know y'all remember this. Remember when they used to sell, the Muslims used to sell the calendars?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
History calendars.
Mm.
And I'm a young man, so I was a reader. I did most of my reading on the toilet. So I had the calendar looking on the toilet, and I ran into Timbuktu. Understanding that the first college, the initial language, education was at Timbuktu, that was stolen by the Greeks, that was stolen by the Romans, and taken out into the world as their own. The Greeks used to come, the Greek scholars came to Timbuktu and they studied under these masters. Then they took it back to Greece. And what the Greeks did was convert it to their own thing. This is facts. This is nothing that I'm making up. This is facts. Reading this and then going and researching it in the library made me see who I was. Because they always put us in Africa. Nowadays, people talk about, you know, we're indigenous, right? I'm not sure it is what it is, but when we was put in the African vein, Middle Passage, coming here and all this stuff like that, right? They said that we were descended from huts and savages.
That's right. Monkeys.
You came and stole our religion and pretending it belonged to you, going back into the continent and subjugating the natives there, giving them their religion. And I'm not going on a tangent, but reading about these things made me see, reading about them and confirming them, made me see where the bullshit was being portrayed to me. And our parents were the ones that said, hey, go educate yourself. There's a free library.
You know where I learned about about African history? Budweiser.
That's real.
Okay. Okay.
Because
You remember?
Budweiser used to talk about history.
Yep.
You went in.
Okay.
You went in what? About? Go ahead, Spoke.
No, I was just saying, and they ran it down dynasty by dynasty, man, and it was the truth. Surprisingly enough.
Here's where I had my eye-opening situation, man. When I was my freshman year, and I was taking the James Cone class, Black Theology and shit, right? And I was reading this book, and I was feeling myself. I'm like, hell yeah, you know. Let me express to my dad what I'm learning and shit, right? So me and him was talking on the phone and shit, and I said, hey man, I'm doing the James Cone, and I told him what the book was and all this shit, right? He said, oh yeah, he said, that's great, son. You know, and I was talking about, you know, what I was reading, all that stuff, and there was a pause over the phone and shit. And he said, okay, man, I'm glad, man, you got to the 4th chapter. Oh, that's cool, man. So when you get to the 4th chapter, tell me what you think about so and so and such in this situation, in that situation, and tell me what your opinion is. So I was the one that was quiet over the phone after that.
Okay.
And you know what he said? Man, just because I dropped out of the 11th grade don't mean I stopped learning, son.
Wow. Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So me and him got into the conversation about it. Of course, I aced the damn class. But in that moment, you know what it reminded me of, DJ?
What's that?
The stack of books that my parents had in the damn garage, man. They talked about politics and Black theology and the albums they had with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Black theology and Greek mythology and all this shit. And on top of that, they had a section of books that talked about what's the Indian rhyme they had, and they say replace that with nigga.
Tell the nigga boys.
Yeah, replace that with nigga. So my parents, throughout their life, wasn't on a college educated level, but they set the stage for you to be prepared for that college. And if you thought they were and you brought your ass home, they say, hey man, go out, look in the right corner and go get this book that says such and such and such and such. And tell me that's not what you ain't learning in college right now. That was my parent.
Yeah. I got one to shock y'all right quick. I'm gonna shock you right quick. So, you know, and y'all got an example of this today. In the military, there is no black and white. Supposedly, there's light green and dark green. Light green and dark green. Well, after 20 years, walking out the gate of Camp Lejeune and walking into civilian life, I was profoundly made aware that I am a Negro in Clinton, North Carolina, because folks reminded me, this is your area over here, your kind, and then this over here. Boom, simple as that. And I was like, wait a minute, my whole time fighting for this country and going here and there, I'm thinking I'm equal. And now real life, real America is reminding me that you have a place. And this is your place. Is that not eye-opening experience? Nothing is. And I quickly realized that, man, you know, this is real. This ain't TV. This is real life. And I got to get caught up at 37 years old. Literally had to get, after 20 years, I had to get caught up because I was ignorant. I didn't know because this is the world. But no, this is the real world.
Well, I got a question. I want to. because this bothers me to my core, man. All these veterans getting laid off, man. What the hell is that shit, man? We don't take care of the people that fight for this country, bro. Real talk.
Ask yourself this. Answer this question right here for yourself. And I'm not trying to get y'all censored now, so don't, because I love this podcast. You have an individual that did not go in the military 5 times, refused to go for a myriad of things. You can do what you want with that. Well, you got people that have gone off the war and wherever and came back with a foot missing, an arm missing, mental incapacities, because that's real, just all kind of things. 33% of government employees are disabled veterans or disabled veterans. And this is what DOGE, Department of Government Executions, that's what I call it, DOG, are laying off. The men and women, no matter what color you are, that have sacrificed the most, meaning the less. How about that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
34 felonies is your man that's telling you that.
You hear all these politicians talking about they're fighting for your freedoms, but you do this shit.
You know,
make it make sense, bro. It don't make sense. Not to me. It don't. And if you don't care about the people that fought for the country, you don't care about no damn body, bro, as far as I'm concerned. And I know I'm getting emotional about it, but that's truly how I feel, man.
I tell you, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it's a blessing. I think it's more of a curse that I've run into situations and people that reminded me that I have to always take who I am.
Yeah.
I always have to take it. I'm never going to ask.
Yeah.
I never ask for you to see me a certain way. No, when you look at me, you will see me a certain way.
It takes courage.
Now, I have been looked over because of it, because I didn't smile. It's not about being bitter, anything like that. But what I did was show up for me because I was taught that I've always meant something. I teach my sons the same thing. You are bigger than what people tell you are. Always understand that. Whether you go after it or not, that's one thing. But you're always bigger than your situation. This is everyone. You understand what I'm saying to you? Not because
sure.
I feel I'm more enlightened. No, this is everyone. You are bigger than the situation that you're in. You know, I pray that God bless you with an easier transition, an easier time to go, and all these different things. But the one thing about it is hold on to you. Hopefully, you'll find something positive about who you are as a human being. Now, some people go through some of the most hellish shit. Some people go through the most hellish shit, and when you find out about it, you're like, damn, they didn't deserve that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But if you have an inkling of holding on to something, my advice is to hold on to it. Because a lot of times I was blessed because of my physical appearance, my physical ability, I was able to go to college. Right? But I don't know, I probably would have just went to work, but I don't know who I would have became if I was not in the right situation to go forward. Because my parents always prepared me to go forward, to think forward. That's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. You know, I always went back to what I learned giving it to my brothers through conversation. Like, yo, this, that, and that. You remember how we used to sit here and think about this shit? Look, this is how easy this shit is.
Yeah.
You know? This is how easy it is. Meaning, not the ease of the working it, right? But the
Right.
ease of the mental and the spirit, emotional spirit.
Mm.
You know?
How to come out on the other side.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, we're 2 hours in, and I'm gonna give everybody the opportunity to say something quickly about the show tonight, or just what's on your mind. We'll start with you, Damon, and then DJ, and then Jaquari.
When you made that statement, man, I started thinking about I'm not done talking, bro. There's a whole lot of stuff that I want to express.
That's why you got a podcast.
Sometimes you got
Why you got a podcast?
right. Sometimes you have to pick your time, you have to pick your opportunities and shit, man. But I appreciate it. Everything we talked about, I think that was poignant, man. I felt it. When DJ started talking about the military, the first thing popped in my head is me as a black man. I can talk about all the bullshit that I have to deal with or whatever, and that's for somebody that don't know me. But if I was in the military and I went to war and all that shit, and I'm still getting shit at all, and people not embracing the mindset that, man, it takes courage to do that shit. And that you have to ask your question, are you able to do that? And there are millions of people who did. And we taking away shit? That's crazy to me, man. That's separate. You know what I'm saying? These people who made those sacrifices should come home with security, unfeathered, unfucked with. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get how that could be fucked with. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. You laying off veterans. Are you out your mind? That's crazy to me, man. Because a lot of people don't have that courage. And I'm still trying to figure that out. Even coupled with the understanding that as a black man, I still have to raise a family and make sure that we are recognized. You don't even recognize people that fall for you. So that makes my job harder as a civilian to make sure that I'm recognized and respected. Like I say, man,
Okay.
it's I'm emotional about the shit. So I
DJ.
don't know how to articulate it like I want to, but I said what I really wanted to say.
DJ.
So for me, I just try to maintain my sanity. I just try to maintain I don't watch the news at all. I cut it off. And I just say, man, I'm going to walk my path. I'm going to walk upright, and I'm going to continue doing what I can, the best I can, trying to be a role model, trying to be an example. And because it's tough, it is tough, man. You hit it on the head, Damon. I mean, you got America, man, who sends off these young men and women, and they go and they do whatever they do, and have done it, and then you lay them off and take away their benefits, and then you want to recruit, these 18, 19-year-olds. You got parents saying, "I'm not giving my kids." No. Then you wonder
That's
why
real.
the military is like the numbers are shrinking. But you got people that are wealthy that's walking behind iron gates and concrete bunkers that are in charge, and they're protected, never served, never been hungry, don't understand, and don't want to understand. While regular folks like us get up every day, go out our front door, look left, look right, make sure ain't nobody shooting and robbing and killing, go to where we got to go, and come home and try to do the same thing the next day. That's just the way it is. So I try to be a stalwart in this, and I try not to be negative and say negative things. because there's a lot of that. But we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it because we got our leaders ahead of that have gone before us. My leaders. For Rosa Parks on a bus by herself, one little tiny little woman that was 5'4" and told a man, "I'm not getting up for whatever. You can do what you want to do." Man, can you imagine how scared she was inside, man? I mean, that's just, and Dr. King, what he did, man, for the courage to be shot in the head and killed, and a whole nation mourned. And 50 years later, we stand ourselves, well, how are we? Where have we gotten? So yeah, we got to fight, but we don't quit. Because damn, you said it. They brought us from Africa or wherever, and we always survive. Sport, you said it, man. We survive because that's the only thing we know how to do is fight. And we're going to do what we got to do to stay on the battle line, to stay ahead, stay up front, and do what we got to do. Thank you.
Jaquari, bring us on home.
DJ, once again, man, I appreciate your time, bro. You bring something, each and every time you appear, and I look forward to the next. Keith and Damon, hell of a job, fellas. Hell of a job, man. I look forward to the next time. Everybody have a good evening.
Okay. I want to thank Keith Barnes, Marcus Smith, cousin Eric LaFleur.
What up, Cuzzo?
Michael Satterfield, thank you for your comments earlier in the night. Appreciate you guys checking in. We're here every Friday at 7:30. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate the company, DJ.
Thank you.
I know you always. Yeah. I know you're gonna always bring it. We've been, like I said earlier, we've been blessed to have some great guests on, really and truly. You know what I'm saying? Let me just close off with this reading what Keith Barnes had to say. Eric addressed it. I had him on the screen. He addressed the veteran, a lot of homeless veterans in Florida, mostly because Florida is warm all the time. So, they had to survive it. You know what I'm saying? And, I understand that. Keith Barnes, he said, true, even in law enforcement, I would think I can't afford or won't be able to live in most of these neighborhoods I'm driving through protecting. That's a good point, Keith.
Absolutely.
I think that it's more or less understanding where you are. Of course, belief and conviction changes your situation. You know what I'm saying? It does. I really believe that in my heart. It changes your situation, because one thing I've always been able to do is look back on everything that I've done. I don't know about you, DJ, but when I turned 60, I'm talking about when the clock struck where it struck.
Okay.
When I turned 60, I went through every positive moment in my life. No negative moment came into, and it was out of gratitude. No negative moment came into my life while I sat there and thought about it. When the clock struck 12 a.m., I thought about every great thing from childhood that's ever happened to me.
Okay.
Now, prior to that, you think about the good and you think about the bad. You counteract it. But see, I think that was just God telling me, hey, man, look at what happened for you. Look at what happened for you. Before you move forward, look what happened for you. To be honest with you, I wish I had that kind of cathartic thing when I was 30.
Don't we all?
You know what I'm saying? But look, it's better late than never, man.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
But guys, great program. I purposely, because sometimes I see myself when I'm trying to edit this stuff, I don't like it when I talk too much. So today I made sure that you guys shine and really and truly participated in what you was doing. And I appreciate that shit because the last week was a great show, right? But the AI that edited the episode, because I'm gonna have to go back and recut it. It spent more time with my questions than the answers. I ain't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I purposely like, oh, quick question and let it go.
Mm.
See, I don't like it when I'm asking the question and the people who great responses and you don't get a chance to respond. I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Key.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Key. Just out of comedy's sake, I was gonna be an asshole when you said that you was focused on ask the questions and let everybody else shine. I was gonna say, I can't tell.
If you really want to be funny,
No. I was saying that in a joking way, bro. I don't mean it literally.
I'm joking too. I'm joking too. You ain't been on for 3 weeks and you made up for it today, my guy. In your answers. But that's what I did. I let you get off, man, because you got to get it out. You got to throw it up. Let me get it out, man. Let me get it out.
I got emotional talking about the veterans, man. I'm going to be honest about that shit.
And that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. But listen, please tell your friends, if you haven't done it, go like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel, man. Spread the word. It's conversation. You know what I'm saying? If you know the four of us on this screen right now, get in touch with us. If you want to come on, get in touch with us if it's a topic that you want us to cover. Because what we do is we promote conversation and we encourage other people's views. One of the questions I asked today, it was 5 different views of the same thing. And I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I loved it because that's the way it's supposed to be. But listen, this is a Strong Perspective podcast. We're here next Friday. Y'all have a good night and peace.